Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this sleeveless tube dress. It's with a V neckline and a peplum. If this is a video you're interested in, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. First off, we'll be using a pattern paper and I'll be extending my tape measure by 5 inches. We'll be drafting the tube past first before we even draft the sleeve. So right now, I extended my tape measure by 5 inches. I marked my 5 inches as my starting line, my 9 inches for my bust line, and my shoulder line to my bust point is 10.5. My under bust is 14.5 and my waistline, or the length I'll be using, is 18 inches. My waist is 16, but if you see in the thumbnail, the bodice came down from her waistline a bit by 2 inches. So I'll be using 18 inches for the length and as my waistline as well. So right now I'm just labeling my starting line or my shoulder line, my bust line, bust point, under bust, and my waistline. So after marking those measurements, I'll mark my shoulder. My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2, that will give me 8. I'll mark that measurement on my bust line and on my starting line. After that, I'll take my bust round measurement, 42 divided by 4, that will give me 10.5. I'll mark that measurement and I'll curve my armhole just as shown. I'll be going with a neck width of 5 inches. You can do 6, depending on how wide you want your neckline to be. So I'll be going by 5 inches and I'll be coming down by 3 inches for my neck depth for the V neckline. That's how deep I want my neckline to be, as you can see on the thumbnail. So right now I'll be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2. That will give me 4 plus 0.5 inches of sewing allowance. That will give me 4.5. I'll mark that measurement and I will impute it from my waistline up to my bust point. I took 2 inches of my dart, 1 inch on both sides, on my under bust and on my waistline. I'll mark that measurement and I'll curve my dart upwards to meet my bust point. After that, the next step after curving my dart upwards is to come to my shoulder line or my starting line, and I'll be marking that remaining measurement, and I'll be marking or curving my dart from that part of my armhole where it started from. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing, please just watch the video. I'll be curving my dart starting from the armhole line. But later on, I'll be coming up by 1 inch for my dart intake, because if you don't take that 1 inch of dart intake, it won't come out, it won't have a bust tightening. So you want it to be able to hug or tighten your armhole area so that it doesn't come out loose. So I went out by 1 inch. I have to replace that dart, so I went out by ½ inch on the armhole and went up by ½ inch on my bust line. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing. I went out by ½ inch on my bust line and ½ inch on my armhole line. So right now I'm just imputing my measurement of 2 inches of that taken for my bust line. My waistline is 38 divided by 2, that will give me 9.5. Mark that measurement, 2 inches of that taken and 2 inches of sewing allowance. I've gone ahead to connect my lines. So now I'll come to my dart leg on my shoulder line. If you look at the thumbnail, the armhole area is actually tight to her bust. So I'll come down by 1 inch because I want that bust tightening over there. So I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll just curve my dart just as shown. You want to proceed to curving your dart as shown. So after curving my dart, that will make my bust a bit tight and a bit snug. It won't come out loose at the end of the day. So I'm just extending my curve just as shown, and after that we have curved out the dart. I would like to replace my 1 inch of dart taking as well. I'll replace that 1 inch of dart taking. I'll just connect it to my waistline. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing, but if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Now I did my pattern like this because I don't want to have any shortage when I'm sewing my outfit, but I'm not making an outfit. But if I'm making this outfit, this is how I'm going to go about the pattern. Now note that 5 inches mark because you want to use it to cut your sleeves. There's a joining at the top of the tube, that's your sleeve. So I'll proceed to cutting out my pattern after noting the measurement of my sleeve. Watch how I cut out my pattern. Please don't make a mistake cutting out yours. And after cutting, I'll note that measurement, which is 3 inches for the remainder of my shoulder, because I'll use it to cut out my sleeve. I almost made a mistake cutting out my pattern there. Please don't make a mistake cutting out your pattern. Watch how I cut out my pattern. If you have watched at this point, please give this video a like. It helps you to push my videos out. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and thank you for liking. To my new subscribers, thank you. Welcome to the family. I hope you are learning 1 or 2 things from me. Thank you for watching my videos. So right now we are done with cutting out the pattern. The next thing now is we're going to go ahead and pin down our pattern. Yes, I do this step just to see how my patterns will turn out at the end of the day. I'll proceed to pinning down my pattern just to show you how it will look like. So right now, before pinning, I'll cut out my sleeve. Now remember we marked 5 inches for the length, so I'll come down by 6 inches because I'll be attaching it to the bodice, and I'll go outwards for my length. I'll be going outwards by 3 inches, but at the upper part of the joint of my shoulder I'll go outwards by 2 inches. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing, please just watch the video. So I'll mark this measurement and I'll connect the lines and cut out the sleeve pattern. There's a joining at the top of the sleeve, the armhole to the sleeve. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If you look at the thumbnail very well, there's a joining. So that's why we have this joining at the end of the day. So I'll pin it down and you see how it should turn out looking like. This is how you want your pattern to come out looking like. And the pattern came out exactly like what's on the thumbnail. I like what I'm seeing. So this is it. If I were to make this outfit, I'll be padding using layers of air stay or soft stay or wadding, and or I can use bra cups, so you can use that. So if you have excess like that, just trim out your excess. You have your armhole, which is correct. My armhole is sitting pretty and the outfit is coming out looking nice. The pattern is coming out looking nice. So this is how you want your pattern to end up turning out like. Your bust part area is coming out. So that's the end for the front bodice. Now we're going to the back pattern. Now to draft the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark my 1 inch of zipper allowance. I didn't see the back of this dress, so I'll just be going with the flow. I'll be using the back, if I'm making this dress, the kind of back pattern I'll be going for. So I'll be marking my bust round measurements, my shoulder line, I'll start with my bust line, which is 9 inches, and I'll be marking my waistline, which is 18 inches. So I'll connect those lines together. After connecting the lines, I'll mark my dart, my nipple to nipple measurement of 4.5. I'll mark it and I'll mark my dart of 1 inch on both sides. I'll mark my waist measurements, 2 inches of dart taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. On my bust line, bust point. On my bust point line, I'll proceed now to connecting the lines together and I'll extend it up to my starting line. Now to remove zipper bulge and to tighten my back or to make it snatch, I'll go outwards by 0.5 inches and go inwards by 0.5 inches on my waistline. I want my back to be snatched and I want to remove zipper bulge. So I connected with a slant line and I'll proceed to cutting out my pattern. If you don't understand what I'm doing, please just leave a comment in the comment section and I'll be sure to reply. I'll notch that part of my bust point, that's 4.5 inches, because that's where we'll be attaching the back of the sleeve. I'll repeat the same measurement, but this time around I'll be marking 1 inch to 9 inches. Remember, I started from 9 inches for the back, so that 9 inches, that 1 inch extra is for joining the sleeve to the back pattern. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So let me just align it so you see what I'm talking about. So I'll proceed now to just align it and show you how it would look like. So that's how I'm going to join my back pattern for making this dress. So this is how my back pattern would look like if I was making this outfit. Now for the peplum part, you want to fold your paper into 4. Your waist radius, my waist radius is 38 divided by 6.28. That will give me 6 inches. But I did 3.14 and divided by 2. It's still the same thing. So I'll mark my waist radius all the way around after folding my paper into 4. I'll mark 6 inches all the way around. And I'll mark my length. The length of the peplum for me on this paper is 8 inches. You can do up to 10, you can do up to 6, you can do whatever length you want, but if you want the length on the thumbnail, your length should not be more than 8 inches. So I'll mark my 14 inches all the way around. That's taking a measurement from the top of the peplum of the pattern paper to the length. So I'll proceed now to cutting out my pattern. The length of my peplum is 8 inches. I use 8 inches for this pattern paper, so you can make do with 8 inches. So by the time you are joining, I open up one of the sides for the back. So I'll just show you how it looks like. This is how my peplum is going to look like. So by the time you are joining to your pattern paper or to your pattern, you make sure that you join and you add extra 0.5 inches of sewing allowance for the joining of your peplum. You want to ensure you do that. And if you're a beginner watching this tutorial, please take your time in drafting your pattern before you draft on fabric. Ensure you do that before you eventually draft on fabric and cut out your pattern. Thank you for watching my tutorials. I hope you learn one or two things. Till I come your way again. Bye.